That is the best barbecue pork in the world. It's self-basting, it's fabulous. Just look at that. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today, real Thai food. Thai food we cook here at home. Okay, we're going to do the best barbecue pork recipe you will ever have in Thailand. Okay, everybody makes skewers, moo ping, and they think, oh, we've had barbecue pork. Yeah, great. It's great out on the street, everything. But it's easy. It's cheap. It's so easy to put together. We are going to make Kor Moo Yang, a whole bowl full of fat. Look at that. That is the best barbecued pork you will ever eat. And what is it? It's basically pork jowl. It's the jowl. You know, it's worked to death. It's fatty. But inside those layers of fat is the most succulent piece of pork that you will ever eat. And barbecued on the grill, it's outstanding. Cooking it in the oven, it's superb. We're going to cook it in the oven today because I know everybody doesn't have a barbecue or grill. So we'll oven cook this and we will turn this into the best barbecue pork you will ever eat by far. And obviously you can see here there's more pork on this piece of jowl than there is on this one, but that's how it goes, you know. Now I'm not sure how you get this where you are. You probably have to go to the butcher. You know, here, they sell it everywhere. It's a premium price. Why is it a premium price? And I don't mean premium off the charts. It's a premium price because, obviously, there's not much of it. You know, there's not much of that where you get a loin. You know, and there's this much. So a loin costs a lot less than this. Okay, so this is our pork jowl. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just wash my hands first, make a marinade, and then we'll just slice this and marinate this. Okay, so this is real Thai food as we cook at home. Cilantro roots or coriander roots. I know not always available everywhere, okay? We use the root, so we want that off there. And we're going to give it a pounding. If you can't get root, use stem. You want coriander flavour. You don't use the leaves. The leaves are what you use for eating. You know, you don't really cook with coriander leaves. That's in Indian cooking. Okay? We use the root all the time, and if you can't get root in the Western world, because, you know, the Western world, they're worried about dirt particles, so they cut it off. Use the stem, okay? You save the leaves for eating. You can bash it with a knife, okay? Not a problem. You can give it a right good bashing with the back of a knife. If you don't have a pestle and mortar. If you have a pestle and mortar, everything gets thrown in there. So let me just chop this through to make it easier. No point trying to bash up big stems or roots. So you take your pestle and mortar, you take your coriander root or stems, whatever you're using. Garlic. Western garlic is big garlic like this. You know, peeled, it looks like this. Let's just move this. Western garlic looks like this. Peeled, it looks like this. Thai garlic looks like that. Tiny, tiny pieces. Now, in Thailand, okay, you don't bother with the skins. Okay? It's a bashing. If you can get the skin off, so what? Okay, if you can't, skin and all, in there. In Thailand, you do not bother with bits of skin on garlic. End of. You know, you can go out to eat, and as you're eating, you might have a bit of fried garlic skin. So what? We're going to put our garlic in there with our coriander root, and we're going to give it a bashing. Now, the way to use one of these is not just bang, bang, bang. You know, everybody hammers it down. What you've got to do is, as it comes down, you flick it. Okay? Now, it's a nice steady one of those, okay? You don't have to go crackers and hammer the heck out of it. If you do and you're doing chilies, it's in the eye, okay? So it's just basically one of these. Movement, okay? Because what happens is, it goes down and then it drags across whatever you're mashing. So it's like a grinding effect. It's like a pound grind. Okay, people don't do that, you know. They do here, obviously. In the Western world, they're all bang, 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 bang. That's how it goes. There you go. So you've got this going on in there. That's our garlic and our coriander root, and we use stem as well, obviously, for display. There you go. That's what we want. We want that. So we want that in there. So I have got about 1 kilo of jowl here. Now, normally about 500 grams per side, so I've got 2 sides there. I'm going to double the recipe. In the ingredients, it'll be for 500 grams of half a kilo of jowl. If you get more than that, obviously double it, whatever. Okay, in here, I want a couple of tablespoons of soy sauce. A couple of tablespoons of fish sauce. Now, palm sugar, I'm out of palm sugar. I'm using regular brown sugar. You can use white sugar. It doesn't matter. We want a couple of tablespoons of sugar in there. We want a couple of tablespoons of oyster sauce. Now, don't forget, you will be doing 1 tablespoon of everything, and where I use 1 teaspoon, you will use half a teaspoon. Come on, let's get real. And we want some white pepper. What, about a teaspoon in there? And we're going to give that a mix. That is our marinade right there. That is a bog standard Thai marinade. Don't be fooled with all the tosh that the Western chefs try and tell you. That is a bog standard Thai marinade. Nothing fancy. Oyster sauce, soy sauce, fish sauce, sugar, white pepper. No salt required because everything's salty. Okay, onto our pork jowl. Our pork jowl looks like that. This is the jowl. Now, you can chuck all that in if you want, or you can break it up into pieces like that. And there, look at that perfect meat in there. That is superb, superb. There's an awful lot of fat comes with jowl, so don't be surprised if you see a lump of fat like that. But on the other side of that, there is meat. There you go. This is real Thai cooking. Okay? So that's our pork jowl. Now we are going to marinate that. Now I'm going to put it in a plastic bag. You could leave it in there. I want it in a plastic bag. We're going to marinate for about 4 hours. You guessed it. Marinade all over there. Come on. In we go. So just shut it up. We don't have to take the air out of it as such, but we want room to marinate. So there you go. Now I know people are going to say, I can't get pork jowl. What can I use? Is always going to be, what's the substitute? You want the fattiest meat you can get. You want pork collar. Collar, fat running all the way through it if you want to try and make a barbecued pork. However, it's not going to be the same as this. No way. This is 100% hands down the best barbecue pork you will ever eat. We basically just leave that for 4 hours. Okay, while our pork's marinating, we can actually make a very quick Nam Jim Jaew sauce. Nam Jim Jaew sauce is a dipping sauce which you eat with barbecue pork and things, you know. Barbecue chicken. It's just a fantastic spicy little sauce. Right, we want a pan. I have got some jasmine rice. Traditionally, they would use sticky rice, glutinous rice. It all works. Okay? In your pan with your rice, you have to toast it. We're toasting the rice. So there we go, we got a lovely little bit of colour on there, look, that's our rice toasted. Now we just need to let it go cold. That's all there is to it. Let it go cold and we're ready to bash it up. So it's straightforward. Once that is cooled down, it's in there and it's give it a bash. Now you've only got to go around in circles and you know it's going to grind up without a problem. And there you go. So that's it. Out of there into something. Okay, Nam Jim Jaew goes like this. We've got some little red onions and we want some slices, okay? Now you're going to have to decide how much you want in, okay? We want a little bit of red onion going in there. And I'm going to pack it out actually. The thing for me, you know, I like to see the veg in there. I like the veg clinging to the meat when you dip it in. I think you should have a thick sauce. Depends where you eat. You know, some places it's runny, it's just water. Now it's a straightforward recipe. Actually, it's very simple to put a nice Nam Jim Jaew together. Okay, we've got a bowl. I'm going to double it up. Okay, because obviously I've got double the recipe. Want some fish sauce in there. Now we're going to go about 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. I've got a bottle of tamarind here. You know, you can buy the bottle of tamarind in the supermarket, it's not a problem. If not, you can get the tamarind and you can make tamarind pulp where you just add boiling water, give it all a squeeze and you get the same stuff. Simple as that really, but this is just a cheats way. So we only want a little bit in there actually. So about 1 teaspoon, that's about 2. Don't forget I'm doubling this. Want some lime juice. So let's have a go with that. So we want to be going in there with our rice. Want to be going in there with some chili. We're going to go in there with some palm sugar. We're going to give that a quick mix and we're going to find out what that tastes like. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Okay, in there with our onion. Mint leaves. All the veg is of choice. Now we've got the end of that coriander that looks very weak and horrible. Now we've ripped the roots off. We've got a green onion, and we've got some mint leaves. Now the vegetable that you probably won't have is this. Okay, it's called sawtooth coriander. It has a coriander flavour, and as you can see, it's got little sawtooth on the leaves. Now you probably won't have this. If you can get it, fantastic. Right, all we're going to do is chop all that up and chuck it in there. It's veg of choice. You don't have to put as much in. You can put a little bit in, up to you. There's a lot of flavour there already with the mint leaves, the coriander, the onion. They're just amazing. So we're going to take our sauce, and that is going on there. And that is our fabulous Nam Jim Jaew. Now, like I say, I like mine thick. I like everything to cling to my meat. Done and dusted. There you go, ready for our barbecued meat. Okay, it's absolutely super simple. You've got your oven on at 200 degrees. We've got a tray. We've got a bit of a rack to keep it off the base there, so we get the heat going all the way around. And there's some foil in the bottom to stop it from muckying up too much. On there with our meat. Smells absolutely delicious. Right, in the oven. So it's in the oven about 30 to 40 minutes. That's all. Okay, we're just going to get that out of there, and we're going to flip it to get some colour on the other side. Back in. Okay, when you've been cooking long enough, oh, look at that, out it comes. There you go, absolutely fantastic. That is our Kor Moo Yang. We'll just give it a little minute, and then we're just going to chop it up. Take your pork, that's your pork, and you look for where the grain is running. The grain is running this way, so we're going to slice across that way. It's as simple as that, really. So it's a nice steady one. We just go across there. So we got quite a long one here, look, but you can see the grain runs this way, so we're going to cut that way. Now you can come right through like this, or you could half it and come through. It's entirely up to you. Come on, get it served up. There you go, that is Kor Moo Yang and a Nam Jim Jaew sauce. That is the best barbecue pork in the world. Okay, what normally happens is you get your pork, you know, and you can put it on your plate if you want, or you straight in that sauce. And you know, for me, like I said, the sauce has to cling to the meat. Look at that. That is delicious. That is off the charts. You know, and obviously if you live in the Western world, just take some pork, put it on your own plate. See, this is what you're looking at. You're looking at that layer of fat there, that nice crispiness on there, that nice flavour where it's been caramelized. There's fat there, look, and you've got that beautiful, beautiful pork in there, which is so soft, so juicy. That's what you're looking at. And obviously in the West, you don't share like they do everywhere else, so just put some sauce on there. In Asia, you see, we put it on a plate and everybody digs in. But you know you're going to want your own plate, aren't you? So there you go. There's our pork. There's our sauce with some rice. That is real Thai food. Sweet, sour, little bit of heat. That's Thailand. There you go. So there you go. That's Kor Moo Yang. That's the best barbecue pork you'll ever make. That's done in the oven. you do it on the grill. Oh, wow. Over the top, smokiness, the smoky flavour. Oh, it's just awesome. And most of the fat's dripped out. It's crisped up. Oh, it's delicious. There you go. If you like what we're doing, tell your friends how to make real Thai food, not the Western version. That's Kor Moo Yang. If you like what we're doing, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. We'll catch you in the next video. Beautiful.